Thank you for tuning in to the Aligned Operator by Bellaconnections. If today's conversation inspired you, share it with a fellow entrepreneur who's ready to grow with more focus and less chaos. Remember, scaling your business doesn't have to mean losing balance. It just takes clarity, consistency, and connection. To learn more or connect with our community, visit us at bellaconnections.com. Thanks so much. Today we have our guest Izabella Hamilton, who's the founder and CEO of RankBell. Izabella is just an amazing, incredible person and human in general that I love talking to, and I'm so excited to have her here. So RankBell is behind nearly $2 billion in organic Amazon sales generated without paid ads. For over a decade, she has helped consumer brands reach page one dominance, increasing profitability, and grow their valuations by turning data, human behavior, and algorithm strategy into scalable systems. She's born in Romania and self-made in the US. Izabella is known for her bold vision and real execution. She's honestly such a badass, you guys. I'm so stoked to have her here. She operates at the intersection of e-commerce, AI, and ownership, building high-level, high-leverage business models that give founders more control, freedom, and long-term enterprise value. Her work is driven by one mission: to transform brands into market leaders and businesses in wealth-creating assets. Welcome, Izabella. I'm so excited to have you here today.
Thank you. I'm so happy, Michelle, to be here. I'm so excited. We had to hit record, you guys, because me and Michelle, we were going. It was like, what, maybe 30 minutes. We were chatting it up. We're like, we should have recorded this. So I'm just so excited to, I guess, continue our conversation that we had started. But I'm very excited to get to know, you and your audience and all the great things that we're going to share today.
Yes, I'm so stoked. And yes, Isabella is a wealth of knowledge, not just in all things Amazon and ecom, but we were just going off about peptides, travel, team building, and so much more. Like, Isabella is just an incredible human. I love every time I get to see her smiling face and excited to have her here. So, yeah, maybe we will cover some of those topics. We'll see, we'll see. But first, can you tell us a little bit more about like your story? Like, how did you come up with the idea and understanding and knowing that RankBell was needed? And where did you start this? Like, where did you start to get here?
That's a beautiful question. And usually, when I'm asked a question such as this, automatically my mind kind of goes onto this like philosophical road. So I'm going to try to like rein all my thoughts in today. But basically, what I started understanding is once I got to understand this miraculous world of Wi-Fi money, what I call Wi-Fi money, right? Like you are able to create a business online to connect with thousands and millions of people, right? And you get to share your experience. So when I understood this kind of connection and the ability to now perform these different projects online, get paid for it, and increase your influence, I'm like, what company out there is one of the biggest, one of the best, right? So, obviously, if you asked a lot of people, most of them would say it's Amazon, right? It's such a powerful beast. It's such a well-oiled engine that it transformed everybody's life, including our own, right? Like we buy everything on Amazon. So when I realized that, and I came in with my complementary skills, which are human behavior, psychology, plus I'm a numbers girl. I went to school for accounting and all of these things. So I've always been attracted to mathematical equations. So when I came across Amazon and with the specific niche that I am in, which is helping brands on Amazon get their products organically ranked to page one, right? So what that does, it's a mathematical formula that allows me to help these brands basically show up in front of their avatar, in front of those who need it. So I really fell in love with this trade, Michelle. It was like looking at the market, understanding what brands want, finding a way that's very unique. Because if you're into the Amazon world, you'll understand very quickly that to make money on Amazon, you have to spend heavily on sponsored ads. So I always come in with a new perspective in anything I do in life is there something that maybe somebody else is missing that I could potentially find, right? So when you start focusing on things like this, then you're able to see those blind spots that most people won't see, only because I'm now focusing on that, right? So once I discovered that organic ranking is almost non-existent, I mean, yes, Amazon prefers specific brands, but it's very hard to achieve that position just through sponsored ads. So then I created this formula that helps these brands get to page one, but not only get to page one, but have the worth of staying there, because at this point their listing is optimized, their keywords are optimized, they have received enough data from their shoppers that says if this product is good or not. So it's a wholesome system that if you know how to utilize it, Amazon actually rewards you for your good behavior, which in turns into sales and turns into more money for our brands. So in a nutshell, that's what we do.
I love it. I love it. And, the fact that you're approaching this, by data and mathematical equation, it's important to be looking at those numbers and to know what they are, but also to find the solution to the problem. And I know that you're very good at this as a visionary and just as a person in general. I know you love to optimize. So I'm curious, you mentioned a couple of times you have a framework for how you have this set up. What kind of is your framework for optimizing on Amazon?
Oh my God. I mean, it would take us way longer of a conversation, but for those brands that are listening in and they are on Amazon or they're not, I just want them to focus on just very specific and very simple things. One is put yourself in the shoes of your consumer, right? If you sell a tea product, then, put yourself into that shopper. Like, what would a tea consumer do? Go to Amazon, type in herbal tea and browse the first section, right? From a shopper perspective, what attracts you first is definitely the image. And then compare your image with 10 competitors. If you're still very biased and you think, oh, my listing is the best, then have AI platform tell you, hey, give me the differences between these 5 images, which one is the best and why, and start utilizing all these incredible AI models that we are blessed with out there right now, and see which image would convert and why, even without having to hire a consultant or somebody that will cost you a lot of money. Just try to utilize what's already there. That's one. Two is, once the image is perfect, does my title say exactly what it is that my product is doing? If not, because again, we might think in some cases, oh yeah, I have the perfect listing, I have the perfect image, I have this, I just don't know why the product is not selling. So look at some of the things that you already are doing. What are the competitors doing? That's like the low hanging fruit. So optimize your image, check your title, and then go into the listing description and see, again, does this listing, does this specify exactly what this product does? Does it show that my tea is from Costa Rica, or did I leave that out, right? So look for all the things that you may have missed, because there's always things you can optimize. And then lastly, it's something you may or may not have, let's just say you don't really have control over, is how many people leave your reviews for those products. So I said may or may not have an influence, is make sure you have the best possible product. Having the best possible product will hopefully garner some amazing reviews. Now, reviews are very far and few in between. I mean, look at, I don't know, Michelle, I'm sure you shop on Amazon. Like, when is the last time you left a review? I mean, is this something you practice?
No, not regularly for sure.
Every single person I ask, they say no. So they're very, very far and few in between. But when they do happen, make sure that your product is good enough so they don't talk bad about it, right? So these are the things that you can do yourself. And then, of course, there's sponsored ads agencies out there that can help or teach. But I say, for the most part, like, you have so many tools right now that are in your possession, that why not utilize those first?
Absolutely, especially with the rise of AI and everything too. But I think it's funny how you pointed out the reviews are such an important part of the sales process. It's like when I am looking at something, one of the first things I go to is the reviews, and I also usually go to the 1-star reviews first to see like what people didn't like about it.
Right.
So yeah, like that's just such a big part of marketing right now, and getting people to actually leave reviews in the first place. But you have to do it ethically without bribery and all that kind of stuff, for paying people. So you get all those kind of crazy things that people ask for. So I'm kind of curious here, like, what would you say, like, what if, let's say a product is out there and they're just not getting reviews, like, what could they do within the Amazon platform to get people to review them more often?
There's a feature within the Amazon platform that allows you to request reviews. So it's done through the Amazon's platform. And what that does is you're able to push a button that will say, okay, an email will go out. So like if you have your email linked to your Amazon account, anytime you order a product, you get an email saying, okay, you ordered this product. And then maybe a few days later or a few weeks later, you're like, why am I getting this email now? Like, I ordered this product 6 months ago. Maybe they need it. So they'll push a button, an email that comes directly from Amazon, not from them, not from the brand. It will say, hey, you bought this, blah, blah. Would you like to review it? So it gives you that opportunity. But how many of us actually open any emails from Amazon? And then if you do, take the time to review. So there is that ability. But other than that, best thing you can do is start creating a list as quickly as possible, a list of your specific avatar. So again, going back to AI, tell AI what your product does and have it come up with your perfect avatar. My avatar is women between the ages of 30 and 50 who do this, blah, 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 whatever the avatar may be. Okay, now that I know that, where do they live? Maybe they live on Instagram. Maybe they follow travel blogs. Maybe whatever that case may be. Start getting, creative. And again, utilize AI and ask it, hey, what's a good way for me to connect with this Facebook group owner that has 10,000 people who are obsessed with ketogenic products? Maybe they'll let me post about my product, or it will allow me to share a newsletter or something with them. Like, find creative ways that don't require money right away, because people come into this business and they're like, oh my God, I have so much money to spend. Agree. But we're forgetting that, a few years ago, not that many years ago, the only way to advertise was like on billboards. And the only way to sell was a brick and mortar store where you had to rent the space and do this. Now we complain that we have to pay Amazon $40 a month for sellers. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, we have
Yeah.
gotten so spoiled, Michelle, that it's ridiculous. So I'm saying, like, take a step back and look at all the things that you could do right now. So again, create a list and then start talking to your list and tell your list, hey, I'm launching this product. The tea was so good that people ask me for matcha now, like, or whatever, right? And then, maybe 50% of the list is going to say, oh, I would love to try it. Now you have 500 people who, on the day you launch, they all go and buy your product. Guess what happens to your ranking on Amazon? Skyrockets. Now Amazon puts your product next to Nestle tea. You know what I mean? Even for a day or two. But that's what I'm saying. The power of the list, the power of thinking outside the box. Your hands are not tied here. Like, we need to start utilizing our brilliant brains and come up with solutions.
And adding AI with it too. I feel like you're very good with the problem solving and coming up with solutions of all of this.
Oh my God. Well, thank you so much. You know what? I guess yes, but my problem is, and we were talking about this call a little bit because we're very honest and open on this call. Like, I'm not very good with implementation. Not that I couldn't, it just like really drains the soul out of me. And I think it's important to mention on this podcast for those who listen, like, we put ourselves into one box. Like, we should all be doing this. We should all wake up at 5 and do cold plunge and do this. And then we forget that we're all so different. Like, yes, I'm very creative and I come up with solutions and stuff, but I don't always have anybody to implement them. So like most of my ideas just go and die in the trash every day, you know. So that's
Not
that's one
forever.
part of it. But we all have skills that complement each other, you know.
Yeah, and it's finding the right people to work with and alongside, which part of that, I know that one of your team members has been with you for many, many years. So it's not just that, but also I want to put out there that, it's also not necessarily it's not implementation for, your clients and what you're doing with RankBell, because you are beyond in that category. Like, you are the ultimate in that category. It's implementation on growing for ourselves and new ideas and new things that also resonate with us. And we all have a big problem with that. Not all, but it's often an issue unless you are the Joe Polish who can have, 2 full-time operations people on staff to just take a command and run with it. That's a little bit more rare to find.
Yeah, that's right. So we got to do it ourselves with AI. Like even
Exactly.
before our call today, I was just like, you know what? Like I feel like when ChatGPT came out and all these tools, like I started heavily using them, and oh my God, I just died because I love like new knowledge. Like I'm very, for those nerds, my Venus is in Aquarius. Okay. So I'm very attracted to technology and all these things. So I've been using AI for a while. And then I don't know, for the past like few months, I was like, just take a little break. And I swear now I just like went deep into it today and I'm like, oh my God, it's a whole new world. So even one day being out of this field, it's gonna feel like centuries. So I would recommend for anyone listening, like just dive deep. And there's not really all my friends that are AI experts and listening, there's not really experts because we're all new at this. So, I mean, I say that like lovingly, but the way one learns AI is through actually doing it. And everyone that's an AI expert out there, the only difference between them and you is that they actually started doing it and they're enjoying it and they're doing it every single day. Compared to some people who never even open it. So that's really how you become an expert, and not an expert necessarily to go out there and sell those services unless you want to, but really to start implementing it in your own business and see how you can take everything to the next level. Like just be curious and go and learn. Like, how do I build an agent? What is that like? What does that take? And if you don't know, go to ChatGPT and ask it, how do I build an agent? Like, how fortunate are we, Michelle, to live in this time right now? Tell me.
Oh my gosh, it's like nuts. It's the speed of evolution of a business and what you're able to do and create is just wild. Like, I remember one of the forums events we were at, one of the AI experts was showing us, you have this idea, okay, you want to get a web page up, you want to do this. In like 30, 45 minutes, there was an opt-in page, sales page, like everything was done, all coded and done by AI. And this was like 6 months ago. At this point, that's probably like 100 times faster. It's wild how quickly we are able to implement. It's just making sure that you're utilizing those tools. So like, what would you say have been some of your like most important tools that you've either created or worked with that help you keep up with things every day without also feeling overwhelmed by it? Because it can be overwhelming when you hear everything everybody does.
Solved for overwhelmed yet. I don't know the solution for that because that's a very constant presence in my life, seems like. It's just because as entrepreneurs, like we have just so many ideas, and even though you're working on so many things at all times, and none of them give you necessarily that satisfaction of completion because it's an ongoing years and years of progress, right? Like one day in business you're good, then you're not, but then it's not like, okay, I'm so good that I can sleep peacefully. So you're always in the state of like overwhelmed and like, what the hell is happening in my life, right? So again, I can't solve for overwhelm. However, there are things that you can do that for you specifically. So for me, thank God I started doing this last year. Last year, I said I will meditate every single day, no matter what, rain or shine. So just applying that one specific thing. I did a few other things, added to that list, to that stack. But I think this was the most important one for me. The fact that I was able to meditate every single day, beside the effects of meditation, which are crazy amazing in themselves, like not only you start thinking clearer, you feel more connected, more love and all of that, but now the second win that you get from this is that you are now able to feel confident again within yourself, because you told yourself that no matter what, I will do this one action every single day for 365 days. And that alone, Michelle, will change your life. And that can be, I will do 10 push ups every single day this year. Give yourself one little tiny task that you do repeatedly, again, to train your confidence. Because once your confidence is trained, then it's going to allow you to pursue other dreams and goals and things you never thought of that you could be doing from this one little thing. So that's
I
one
love
thing I would recommend. Two, we all have our phones with us every moment. I utilize the heck out of the notes. So in the notes, like I'll have an idea or something. Yeah, it's a complete mess, and God knows how they're all organized. But that's my way of like, okay, I know tomorrow I have these five things to do. It can be as quick as that, instead of, because I like simplifying things. Like if I have to log into Notion and then I have to log into Zapier and that zap that God knows where, like better kill me now. Like, what can I utilize that's like super fast right now, Notes. I know I can go tomorrow and be like, oh yeah, I gotta file my taxes or whatever. So don't overwhelm yourself with things that you hear and read, and the 5 a.m. wake up people that jump into an ice bath, and oh my god, because you're not doing that, you suck majorly. You do not suck. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. I think a lot of overwhelm is coming from comparison. I really think that a lot of what you're saying is like, and really just hearing you talk about it, it really feels like a lot of your overwhelm is just comparing yourself to others and being too critical on yourself.
that's right. That's right. Amongst and add everything else, right? Like, especially for women, add the fact that you're a woman, add the fact that this, add that, add this. So now this year for me, Michelle, is like, how do I work less, make more, enjoy more, but in a way that, okay, maybe I should like double click on that a little bit, but work less in the sense of work smarter, systems, add automations, hire people, literally fire yourself from your position. So that's my goal. How do I fire myself from Izabella Hamilton and take a step back? And I want to do that. And I want to tap in more into, all my passions. And a lot of them, by the way, are connected with everything that I do work wise too. But there is a time in your life where you have to say, am I still like the operator in my business? And am I the bottleneck of my business? And I am right now. So I'm at this stage in my life where I'm moving on to the next level so I can become more of an aid and help to others and serve those who come across my path, because now my capacity has been freed up.
That I love that. It's yeah, like you said, like firing yourself and empowering not only your business but your team with the right systems and the right AI and just the right tools to make the decisions, like we were talking about earlier, to make the decisions, to get things done, and to trust their own judgment as well, and know, you hold the vision of where you're going while you trust them to do the implementation, and not worrying so much about the details of how to get there, but not like the specific, like the steps, I guess. So with that, is there like, what have you seen like within your own team and your business that you've implemented AI to really optimize some of this? Because I knew you travel a ton. You just told me about an incredible new experience you're going to have with your favorite DJ in Mexico City in pyramids. Like, hell yeah. How are you implementing AI into your systems and your team so you can do more of this?
You know, we are just starting to. Also, because we have taken pride in my business that, we do everything manual. And because of we do everything manual, the service is 100% perfect. And I love that. So for the longest time, I was almost scared to implement any kind of AI and any kind of automations, but I realized that those are holding me back because if I get to implement AI and a better CRM and a better tool, then I will also offer my clients a better experience. So I just had to shift my mindset around that. So I'm definitely looking forward to implementing as much as AI as I can, again, to simplify our processes. And, I'm the first to admit, like, there's some times that people that email us and like we'll email them once and then we forget about them. Like there's not, so many things you can implement with AI and automations that will save your life. And for me, I'm just excited. Like even though I've built and I've done so much, it's okay to admit that, all business owners, we all go through different things. Like I don't have it all figured out, but I'm still here. I'm still doing it every day. So right now I'm excited to see how AI can help me, and not to get rid of team members, but more so to support them as well.
Absolutely, to empower them and to give them the tools to do the work of 100 people. So you add like a couple of people I've seen recently do this, or they're hiring 100 or 1,000 people in this like in a quarter, and they're doing it specifically to also empower them with AI agents and tools so that they can be doing the work of 100, because 100 people doing the work of 100 is just incredible, like the amount of things that you can do. And we are all moving through this and figuring out the right systems for us. And you and I have connected on this before in terms of, both of our businesses are really based in connection. And that's one of the things that we really had a deeper discussion on is you guys, especially at RankBell, are deep into the connection, both with your clients, but also your customers and the consumer. Knowing who their customer is a very human piece of that still. And I know that connection part is really important. And yes, AI can solve a lot of problems, but it is not a human yet, or won't be, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I agree. No, that's so true. And it's funny you mentioned that, the last piece with the AI. You have to read this book called Singularity. I just started reading it actually, and it just talks about like how AI is going to merge with the human mind, and that basically becomes the singularity. And I thought about that because it's like, okay, now you take somebody who's really, really intelligent, right? Which I feel like a lot of entrepreneurs have this like very quick gene that, you just come up with ideas. So imagine a person like that, that's very creative. Now you're merged with an AI that basically makes you 1,000 times more brilliant than you were. Like, holy cow, like what are we gonna do? So, and that's not very far from here. They predict that within the next 20 years.
That's amazing. That's
Yeah.
amazing. Like the amount that
So
we'll be able to do.
I think, I mean, if I were to do anything today, if I didn't do what I was doing, and even as I'm doing what I'm doing, I still want to be very mindful of AI. I would say, like, right now, today, learn AI. Learn AI and every single day, like, don't give up. Know that this is the future. And I know, I'm sure a lot of people talk about it, but there's so much we don't know. We don't know. And again, just looking at what's out there right now today, like, this whole podcast could have been done without us being live, without us using our voice, without us using our face. We could both be doing something else, and there would be a podcast that it would be very hard for you to differentiate if it was us or not. So that is where we are today. I don't know a year, 5, 10, 20 years from now, Michelle.
Yeah. Can
So
you
learn AI.
imagine?
Yeah.
Gosh, yeah, it's gonna be wild. I think, yeah, definitely learning it, utilizing it, leaning on it. I still feel connection is kind of our human connection is gonna be our bread and butter in the long run, and having that
Yes.
aspect, we still need that. That's part of who we
Yes.
are.
Yes.
But yeah, I'm very curious. I'll definitely check out that book. And I know there's another one by I think it's Peter Diamante's Abundance that talks a lot about what we can do, as humans and still staying connected with AI.
Mm, okay, I'll have to read it. Let me write it
Yeah,
down.
it's fascinating. It's fascinating the options. I do. Okay, so I'm gonna take us back a little bit to talk a little bit more about RankBell because I know this service is incredibly important and it's helped so many people. And it's not just like teas and physical products, which are very valuable. It's also books. So I know I've sent some authors and stuff. You've helped rank authors as well. Any kind of product really on Amazon. That is our number one product source. I have a funny story actually, and this is kind of a personal. I want to ask your advice on what it would be like nowadays. So back in the day, like when I'm first getting into this whole internet marketing space, I of course am looking up like how do you make money online kind of thing, and one of those is Amazon FBA, and this is like over 10 years ago at this point. When it was just a big new thing, and you developed your own products you did all the camel research, and then the product over at Alibaba and all this stuff, and so I had developed it was a monkey pillow. It's like a little organic monkey pillow for babies, basically. And it was something that was not on anywhere. And as soon as I finally had it made and it got shipped to me and everything, all of a sudden it was swarmed. There were like 7 or 8 pages, and I had massive amounts of reviews. I was surprised, not massive. By massive, I mean like 10 reviews that were 5-star, which, at that time it felt like it was massive to me. And I was still on like page 7. So, given that, I know things have changed a little bit. Where back then, a lot of people were trying to do it at once, and there's just a lot of flood in the market because a lot of people were being taught to do that at once. But nowadays, let's say I have a product that does have 20, 30, 100 reviews, but I'm on page 6 or 7. What can I do to help me improve that? Like, how do I get support from you guys to organically get that moved up?
Mm. Interesting. So I would love to see a picture of your product. Do you still have it or no?
I'm sure I do. I still
It
have.
was a baby pillow?
Yeah, I still have 100 of them. I give them to my friends for camping.
So it's a baby pillow, but it has monkeys on it?
It's like a literal monkey face, and then it's made for babies to support their neck, so it has just like the right amount of cushion underneath. It's super cute, and my friends use it for camping, and I did give it to a friend for her fostering services, but it just, yeah, as soon as I received the actual physical product, and I had thousands of these monkey pillows, the pages were just flooded. And it felt like it had been something where as soon as I had something started and there was getting reviews, then everything else came in and it was just kind of
Exactly.
frustrating.
Yeah.
So,
So a lot of that happened where, somebody would launch a product, they would go to China, find a supplier, the supplier themselves, they would replicate that product and come in and overtake the market. So it's very dirty game, unfortunately. But how one would make money right now, again, the main way that people know about is through sponsored ads, meaning you go and you say monkey pillow has maybe 50,000 searches, meaning 50,000 people type that word in every single month. So you, as your brand, you want your monkey pillow to show up first, right? But then there's a sea of all the other monkey pillows that you were talking about, right? So the way Amazon understands this is the more somebody buys your product, the more data it will send back to Amazon. So usually most people, they fight on sponsored ads, meaning there's a suggested bid. It's $2. Then you go in and say, well, I want to be first. Let me pay 215. The other guy's like, "Oh, I'm going to do 250. I'm going to do, $3." And next thing you know, you're having this bidding war with another brand to be on page 1 whenever somebody types in monkey pillow, so you can show up under sponsored ad, right, and hope somebody clicks on you. By the way, if somebody clicks on you, then you lost that $3 regardless if they go ahead and buy the product or not. So just to, be clear, Amazon does not owe you a sale. It just tells you we will put you on page one. If somebody clicks on you, hopefully your image, the title, the listing, and the reviews will make them buy. See, we're coming back to that. If that's the case, then yes, you've made the sale. You paid us, meaning Amazon, $3 for the click, and you made the rest. Let's say it's $20 product, right? So that's usually how it works. What we do that's different, Michelle, is we help those products without having to spend this money on Amazon ads. We do this organically. We want your product positioned on page one organically, regardless of how many times somebody clicks on your listing or not. Even if I click on your listing, you pay nothing. I can do that 100 times because now you are organically ranked. So that's what we do at RankBell. And again, the way we do it is we first help you understand who your avatar is, who your target audience is. Then find out who they are, what do they like, how can we get them to test your product so they can tell you how to create a product that's for them instead of a product that's for you. Because as brand owners, we like to be very biased. My product is the best. I don't understand why I'm not making 5 million a month when the other guy is making 5 million a month, and I see there's no difference between us, right? It's very hard sometimes to look. So instead of thinking, hey, I know best, why not turn it around and be like, okay, 500 people, tell me the honest, raw truth. This is why I said lists are very important, because if you have a list, you can send a message out and say, I have this product, I want you to test, and tell me the raw, honest truth. And they'll say, the color sucks, or the material is bad, or this is this, whatever the case may be. Once you understand this, now you take that information, Michelle, now you update your listing in such a way that Amazon converts it, meaning whenever somebody types in a specific keyword, Amazon will always remember you because you have a better listing. People click on it more, people buy it more. And by doing so over and over again, Amazon gathers this information that whenever somebody types in monkey pillow, it bypasses everyone else and buys Michelle's.
I love that.
Broad vision of what we do.
Yeah, and you guys are there to help support them and everything as well.
Exactly. We do it. It's done for you. But as I said, somebody has a list, they could easily do this themselves. It's definitely, obviously, I made a career out of this. So it's simple, but it just takes time to set up something like this. I don't know. I've been thinking about maybe one day, like teaching the process, putting it into a book or a course. I just haven't got around to it. But like for people that have lists, because we know a lot of people with brands, like they sit on lists, Michelle, that are like anywhere between 1,000 to like hundreds of thousands of people. I'm like, you literally have what I offer, only they're not trained, like their audience is not trained, right? So it definitely can be done without hiring somebody. But obviously, if you're on Amazon and you want to check us out, we would love giving you advice and what we think would be the best way. But yeah, it's definitely, Amazon is still very lucrative business. It offers a lot of flexibility for brand owners, those who put in the time and the patience to see a brand growth and offer a good product. That's important.
I love that. And especially, the product side, like the focus of the product itself, I think is super important and something that is really neat that you guys don't only offer, the ranking and the marketing, the organic marketing side, you're also offering, the product improvement side. Them being able to understand like where they can improve. And, yes, people can get, they can build their list. List building is time consuming and expensive, and it's something everybody should do and they should have, but they can still work in conjunction with what you have because their list being built is, like it's not, they're trained for their product. They're not trained to be giving the kind of feedback and insights that your list might have. So you can also help them, coach them on their own list as well, I imagine, right?
Yeah, so that's why you see, because we asked about like tips and stuff. Like you'll see me, like whether I'm at a mastermind or even on a podcast, like I always take notes. Like it's very important to come up like with your own thing. But no, and you're very right. Like I am jealous of people who have a lot of lists, because I'm like, oh my God, I could do so much with that list, you know? So again, start thinking of creative ways of what you can do, because sometimes these lists can mean millions of dollars.
Absolutely. It's how you get re-engagement, you new products and everything else. So let's say somebody is solely on Amazon. They haven't really spent a lot of time building their list. What is a way that they can utilize their Amazon and Amazon product to start building a list? Like, can they put free gift QR codes in boxes, or like what's a good way to do that?
So not on Amazon, not on Amazon, but there's so many other platforms that you can do that. But definitely, start testing it with a small market, right? Like maybe your neighborhood, or maybe, your mastermind, or maybe your friends list. Like you have 50 people, like, hey, I need y'all to test this product. Tell me like if it's good. And all I require in exchange is literally for you to tell me the honest truth, right? So that's like 50 people right there in your list that can be like, I like your product or not. And then, those can become your ambassadors. Like, oh, can you think of one or two other people that might want to test this tea that I'm bringing? They're like, of course, I have two people that want a free product, right? So, I mean, take that very simple method and like run with wild with it. Like, what else? Where else could you do something like that? Again, Facebook groups, maybe a cooking Facebook group, maybe a tea lover Facebook group that has 100,000 people. You talk to the moderator or admin, what they're called, and say, "Hey, I have this tea that I'm launching, and I would really love the opinion of some of the people in your group. I'll give you $100 to let me post." You have a little opt-in form. Now you have 1,000 people who, they're obsessed with tea because they're literally in a Facebook group talking about tea. Like, there's so many different ways. We could sit here and like literally fire many different ways to attract a specific audience. And we all know it. We just don't want to do it. We're lazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, and also like everybody is busy, but it's also something we kind of talked about before is we tend to put things off that help us move forward. We tend to delay it, or, put it off for the comfort. So staying in our comfort zone versus expanding is a lot easier. And that's why you can either choose to do it, or you can pay someone else to do it. Like that's how I usually do it, is I set like a timeline. If I haven't finished it by this time, then I have to pay somebody else to do it. And then that amount is usually the cost of a trip, and that's a pretty big motivator for me to either figure it out or pay the right people.
Smart. We probably talked about this before, but you've done your Colby?
Mhm.
What is it?
It was like over 15 years ago, but I had AI give me a rundown because you and I had talked about this before. I put a bunch of my
Uh-huh.
personality profiles in there, which is
Yeah, yeah.
really good for team building, by the way. And this is a good tip from Isabella. I am still very high quick start. I'm very low follow through, very classic visionary, but I do have a lot of the fact finder, like a high fact finder. And what was the fourth one again?
It was like the integrator implementer. It was no, follow through and integrator, I think the last one. But yeah, I'm for fact finder. I'm, well, not high. I don't know how. I'm a 6, which still brings you to like, still I do research, but it's enough for me where I stop at 6 and I can be like, okay, now I can start doing things. Whereas somebody that's like a really high fact finder, like they won't stop till they have every single fact and detail in place, you know? So, but no, it's cool. Yeah, that's another tool that your listeners can take. I mean, I don't have a referral link or anything like that. I just think it's such a good test for people to take.
It really is. The Colby is a great one, especially also when you're trying to evaluate team members. So when we were first working together with this doctor, we were building his online business forever ago. They had a Colby person come in and test all of us. This is like 15 years ago. me and him were technically, I was the COO and he was the visionary, and we had the exact same scores: high quick start, low follow through, like middle ground, fact
That's
finder,
crazy.
the exact same score. And the lady is like, you two cannot work together. Like, you
Yeah.
have to have a third person who is going to be the no person, who's going to, give you guys direction and like, and say, not no, but not right now. And that's that integrator world. That's super important.
Oh my God. That's why what you do is so crucial. Like people don't understand. Like you really, you really have to know who you're hiring. As far as, I mean, they can be great and an amazing human. We're not talking about that. But just as far as like if I were to hire another visionary like me, there will be zero work done. We will have great conversations. We will fly high to the moon, but there will be very little work done. So it's very important to have somebody that complements your skills. And we talk a lot about visionaries because a lot of entrepreneurs are, but there's many entrepreneurs who are not. They're just really good implementers and follow systems. So one is not like better than the other. Actually, in fact, I wish I was a little bit more on the implementer strategy side because I feel like I would have done a lot more things. But we're all so unique. We're all unique humans having a unique experience, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's good to have both parties. Like we everybody has their strengths and can lean on each other with the right person. And that was something that like I found super valuable is, you put all of your personality profiles into ChatGPT and you use that as a guide for a lot of things. And I think that's really useful, like both in creating an ideal avatar for your candidate, but also your customers who you're going to be working with and partnering with and things like that. So yeah, it's important to have that piece and that role, but also to understand and know yourself. You can change things, you can improve and grow things. You have to, or you can just work with your strengths as is.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I think that I loved that. I love that you shared that. So, okay, last question here. I really appreciate your time today. This has been
Love it.
amazing.
No, it totally. And I know your listeners can tell. It's just like a conversation between two friends, and I love doing these, and that's why it's so relaxing. And I've been thinking a lot about this, Michelle. Like we don't even put out enough content as far as like we're just normal humans going through a normal human experience, and we really it's our job to put more of this kind of content out because people won't feel so lonely in their process anymore. That's why for me, like I always tell the truth as it is. Like this is what I'm doing. These are the struggles. Like, or I'll be like, oh my God, I'm so happy today. And people that know me in real life, they're like, you're too much. But yeah. But anyway, go on to
Never
your
too
last
much, never
question.
too much. No, I do want to say, like, I do love that because, especially when we're talking about content creation, and a lot of people they get worried about it, or I've had people comment like, oh, you post so much, like how do you keep up with it? And like, man, I don't share like a quarter of my life. Like I don't share so many things. And part of it is, it's good to share these insights with others so that they don't, like you said, they don't feel alone. We've become such a connected society that we are becoming really disconnected at the same time, at least to the realities. And showing and having these insightful conversations is why I love connecting with you and talking with you. I think the first time we met, we talked for like an hour and a half straight, and I could talk to Izabella for hours and hours on end. She always is a wonderful person, great advice, and just a good soul, a great person to talk to. So thank
Thank
you.
you. I feel the same with you. I totally feel the same.
I appreciate you. And I'm also not the only one who says that. Literally, the first time I heard about you, I had like two or three people, oh my God, you gotta talk to Izabella. She's the most amazing person. And like, I just, I got goosebumps hearing that. Like, it was just so sweet. Like, they were so excited about you. So, just in general, you create a lot of transformation and love and appreciation in people. And I'm curious, can you share either a client transformation or something personal that you're really proud of and really stands out and excites you?
Okay, I love this. And you know what? I'm just gonna go with the last thing that you said about, how the perception of others of you as a human, right? So when I hear this, obviously makes me so happy, but in the moment when I connect with somebody, whether it's at a mastermind or out, and what I realized that I'm so good at, Michelle, is like I have this insatiable thirst for curiosity that when I'm in somebody's presence, I'm just like eating every word you're saying, because not I'm not trying to leave you with some kind of impression, but more so, who are you as a human? What have you endured? Where have you been? What made you who you are? Like, what makes you laugh? What makes you cry? Like, and I always say to everyone, like, humans are my favorite things on this planet, closely followed by trees and dogs, only because, we're doing ranking, but we are so unique and so beautiful as a species, and we're so cute, and we're so like, we can get annoyed and we can get stressed, and we can it's like, if you were to step out a little bit and just kind of like zoom out of like the human existence, and you're like, we are literally the most powerful the most powerful beings in the universe, and yet, we tend to act so small, and we're manifesting all these like miracles in our lives, and we kind of just overlook them, like it's just, oh, like it didn't really happen. And it's interesting looking at humans as a whole, so I went a little bit too deep there. But with that being said, when I meet people at events, like, I'm just so infinitely curious about you that it comes across as, it really lets people feel vulnerable, and the fact that you're willing to listen to to them. And we all want to be loved, right? Like, deep inside, we just want to be loved, we want to feel cared for, we don't want to be alone, at the deep root of everything. And then when you meet somebody and you are taking those seconds and minutes out of your life, they're already gone, you're already using them up with that specific person in that moment. Why not make the best out of that moment? So even though I don't go into a conversation with these rules, but it's almost like, this is my values and how I work. Like, how can I make the person in front of me feel absolutely insanely amazing after they meet me? It's like a personal goal. But again, it's not something like I make myself do, but like, my God, they're so awesome as they are, that like, I'll ask them questions, and then, we laugh. And also, I'm a big jokester, and I like to laugh, and I love to make fun of myself. And I know I'm not perfect, and I'm all of these things, and I think people can resonate with me. They'll meet me and they'll say, "Oh my God, like, I thought you would be different," or "I thought this." And they're like, "You're just a breath of fresh air." And honestly, nothing makes me, you couldn't give me a better compliment than telling me that. And it's better than any other compliment. Let's put it this way. And I just love doing that. So for me in my life, like, that has transformed me as a human, and that has transformed other people too. And some of them come and tell me like, "Oh my God, I met you here and there, and you said this thing to me, and I might not remember it, but," they're like, "It changed my life, and like, nothing makes me happier." And if I can do that at some point on a larger scale, it would really make me very happy. Again, I do it now, and I know those who are listening to this, like, they'll feel both of our energies, and they'll feel the love and the honesty and the rawness of this conversation. But yeah, we just keep doing more of that and try to have a lot of joy in the meantime. And the more joy I have, the more joy I can bring to you. And that's not to say that we don't go through ups and downs, and there's days that I don't want to talk to anybody, and there's days that I just like want to jump up and down at a rave, which I've been doing that a lot lately, whatever that means.
Yeah.
I'm living like my best youth life right now, seeing the
Yep.
sunrise in Mexico City at a festival. So take time to do that. Scott Galloway, one of my favorite people lately. This is I'm not saying this advice, and I don't think he endorsed it either necessarily. But he says, drink more. I don't drink, so I don't drink alcohol. But he says it as an analogy of, go out and enjoy more of your life. So, I'll take that analogy and say, like, just enjoy life more, because, life and work and this, and it will always come. And how do we insert more joy into our life? I guess that should be like the motto of, can I do all of this and enjoy and get more joy?
I love that. I love that. And it's completely exuded through you and in everything you do, too. It's just like, leave them better than you found them. Be curious and enjoy life and the connection with other people as well. So, like, even though, even you saying, like, your curiosity for other people, that serves in RankBell too. Your curiosity of what is working and what's not working for products or how you can better help people. So, in the end of the day, it's how you better help and bring love and joy to others. That's just through you being you, which is amazing. I love you seeing you live your best life. I swear every other like week you're on a different beach in some country somewhere, like just living the life. And I'm like, gosh, this is my girl right here. And I love seeing
You're
it.
too kind. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And it just again, there's ups and downs, but I am living my best life. I am taking my son here in a few weeks on a South America trip, so that's gonna be fun. But yeah, you try to do it all: work and family and kids and business and God knows what else. So
It's that crazy, messy little thing we call life, and it's
that's
beautiful.
right. That's right. Michelle, you're so amazing. You're so sweet. I want to have you on my podcast and we can chat some more.
I would love that. That would be so much fun. This has been an amazing, amazing episode. I'm really grateful that we had a chance to talk to you. Anybody who wants to follow Izabella or check out her stuff, check out RankBell. And then we'll also link, if you want to link some of your social profiles and things like that. Where's the best place for people to follow you? Because you alone are amazing. RankBell is too.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, LinkedIn, Izabella Hamilton. If you want to follow me on Instagram, at your own risk, because I do karaoke from the car and I will not tell you how to rank your products on Amazon. But if you want to be heavily entertained and possibly see some beautiful San Diego sunset pictures, then it's bella.iza.bella, 1L, on Instagram. And yeah, just trying to enjoy this beautiful life that we have.
I love it. I love it. And you do share some incredible experiences there. I love following your stories and everything you're doing there, as well as everything you're doing with RankBell. So we'll make sure everything is linked below. And I really appreciate your energy and time today, Isabel. This has been awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. My absolute pleasure. Let's do it again.
Yes, definitely.